Well, good morning, YouTube. As you can see this morning, we got some snow, and thought, well, maybe this is a really good time. I can go play with my new tractor. We really haven't used it a whole lot because we're so busy with other projects. But yeah, moving some snow. Maybe go check the roads in the neighborhood, make sure it's safe for people to get in and out. But first, we'll see if it'll start. It's pretty cold out. Well, I'd say that's pretty impressive. It's only about 17 degrees out. But, you know, those common wear tractors, they start a little easier than the old mechanical pumps do. I know when it's this cold, I really struggle to get the Ford to start. So apparently the snow started about 5 o'clock this morning or so. And when I woke up around 7:30 this morning, it had accumulated about 2 inches or so. And then throughout the day, it's just continued. It looks like we've got about 4 to 4.5 inches overall here at the property. I think it's a little bit more in some other places. But now it is well after 3 o'clock. And the snow seems to have stopped. I did just check the radar a little while ago, and there's still a 15% or so chance of snow through the evening, but I think the bulk of it is done. And looking at the radar, it really doesn't look like it's going to come around his. There is kind of a swirl there where it may loop back, but it looks slim to none. So I think at this point I can safely go out there and do a little bit of cleanup and not worry about it just accumulating it again. While the tractor is warming up, I'm going to throw on another layer of warm clothes because it is chilly out there and I don't want to freeze running the tractor. Remember, I am vice president of the homeowners association, so I do want to go out there and try to make sure that, you know, our neighborhood is kind of clear and safe for people. This isn't a snow plow machine, but I've got it. I've never needed it for this purpose before. But now that I have the tractor that's kind of like on standby and ready, I don't mind going out there and kind of doing that for my community. The president of the homeowner association is actually in Florida right now, but what he and I had discussed before last week's storm came through is we actually strategically put garbage cans full of road salt at the dangerous spots in the neighborhood where the ice buildup usually kind of accumulates and sometimes stays because it's in a shaded area and doesn't burn off real soon. So if I can at least get the bulk of it out of the way, then maybe sprinkle a little bit of salt down, hopefully that'll keep things a little bit safe. So we're gonna go get to it. All right, well, that seems to really work a whole lot better. I mean, I'm sure I'm wearing down my cutting edge a little bit on there, but I'm not totally concerned about that. I can always replace it or add one later on. But yeah, on this, it's going pretty smooth. I'm able to keep a little bit more bucket angle on it. so that I'm scraping, you know, that edge right against the ground and scoop that ice into the bucket. And I went quite a ways before I kind of pushed off and dumped. I could have went further, but I didn't want to get too far away from the camera. So yeah, this section here is actually looking pretty darn good. We're gonna move up and do more. All right, so I practiced a little bit with my driveway, challenging getting the bucket at just the right angle where I didn't really dig into the gravel. A couple of places I gouged, but I finally got it where like I'd set the bucket flat and it would tip up just a tiny bit. I mean, not much, just enough so that I knew that that front edge wasn't sitting down, and then I put it in float mode. And keep in mind, there's only a couple inches here. It's not like it's a lot. And I pushed kind of the length of the driveway, then dumped it at the end. Now that I'm up here at the road, I can see where one of my neighbors has already gone in and out a couple of times, but I'm going to go ahead and try to clean this up too. Now, this is concrete up here, so it should be a little bit easier. I shouldn't have to be worried as much about digging in. Now, I still don't want to hit anything hard, like where concrete is like slightly uneven or whatever. That could be bad for the bucket. So I'm still going to go slow, take my time, but we'll see if we can get this a little bit cleaner. Guys, I've been going at it about an hour. So this is my road down here, and I got it pretty well cleaned up. You see, it's not perfect, but there's no buildup on it. And then I did the main, well, this part here goes down the hill to the main road. And then I've the main road here coming into the neighborhood. I've done it as well. You see some spots, like right here where the tractor is, comes out looking pretty darn good, but there's some spots where the snow is just packed enough that I'm not digging all the way through it. Now, right up there where that street sign is, I can make a right turn and head further up into the neighborhood here. It gets pretty steep in some spots. I have had a little bit of trouble with the incline. If I get too much of a snow load on there and the bucket's digging a little too hard onto the ground, I'll start to lose traction and have to back up and get somewhat like a little running start going towards it again. And the other thing I gotta watch out for is where the asphalt or the concrete ends. If I get one tire off into that, then the tractor just wants to go off to the side and I can't recover it. It won't climb back up. So I have to actually back up, get back on the road and go. So I've been a little bit more careful with that. Learning experience. Keep in mind, I'm new to tractors and loaders and stuff like that for the most part. And I've never in my life plowed snow before. So this is the first time for me. But I do gotta say, this little Coyote is just kicking butt. I mean, it's doing what I need it to do. So there was a couple of really steep areas up high in the neighborhood. I mean, we live at the low part of the neighborhood. It just climbs and climbs up the mountain that I wasn't able to get to. I just couldn't keep traction. And this right here is something I got to watch out for. These are speed bumps that are put periodically through our neighborhood to keep people going slow. Speed limit's only about 15 mile an hour. And obviously I'm not doing that, but with that blade running across the ground there, I got to watch for those. There's only a couple in the neighborhood and I don't know where all of them are. I found one unexpectedly. There was enough snow on it that I didn't see it. So like on this one, I saw it. So I just went real slow until I felt the bucket hit it. And then I just kind of raised the bucket a little bit, went over it, set it right back down. No big deal, but you got to watch them. If you're going fast and you hit those, it could probably bend a loader or do some kind of damage. Luckily, I don't think we hurt anything. We didn't hit it that hard, but just got to be careful. Well, it got dark on me, so I had to quit for the evening and come back inside, strip off some of my layers. I wasn't terribly cold out there. Even with the gloves on, my hands were getting a little bit cold. But after coming back down from the higher part of the neighborhood where I couldn't go any further, some of the steep parts down here We had previously decided to put some of those garbage cans out there with the salt, so I spread 2 bags of salt in some of those steep areas, so hopefully that'll help melt that areas, so that it's where it's really steep and there's a curve, and it just makes it dangerous for our fellow neighbors to be able to get in and out. And even went ahead and sent a video to our president of the HOA showing what I'd done. He seems to be pretty happy with it. So, I'm no expert snow guy. I've never pushed snow before in my life. I've never tried to plow snow before in my life. And I didn't do a perfect job, and there were some tricks, but you know what? It gave me seat time with the tractor. It gave me some real time using the loader and being real careful with it, and just, it's practice, and these things take time to get good at. And, I think I put about 2 hours or 2.5 hours of seat time on the tractor today. So I'm really happy with that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next time we see you, keep those engines running. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel. We're getting bigger, but with your help, we get bigger faster.